Welcome to Well Balanced Kids yoga video. Today our theme is weather, and oh, don't we get a lot of it. What do you like best? The bright sunshine, or maybe rain? Or perhaps you love the snow and building snowmen and having snowball fights? Or perhaps you like a good storm where you can dress up in all your winter gear and your scarves and your hats and enjoy being blown along by the wind. Personally, I like the sunshine. I like to feel the warmth on my cheek, and I like to feel it loosening up my body and not having to take a coat out with me, and just wearing nice summer dresses and sitting in the sunshine on the beach or in my garden. But, rainy days are okay too, especially if you're sitting inside and you're hearing that pitter-patter on the window pane. It can be quite relaxing and make you feel all warm and snuggly. And weather's important, that we get lots of different types, otherwise plants wouldn't grow and we wouldn't have everything we need to live. So we're going to be exploring weather today through lots of different yoga shapes. But first, we need to warm up our own bodies, and we do that by doing our sun salutation. Say thank you to the sun for rising every day, for making us warm and making our planet warm, and for helping all the plants grow. So are you ready to begin? Let's get going then. So take a place on your mat, and hopefully you might remember it from last time, but let's go through it and see. Feet hip width apart. Remember, put your fists together and just check that the feet are hip width, at least 2 fists apart. And do you remember about the parallel lines? Keeping the inside of your feet nice and straight, not in, not out. So feet hip width apart and parallel lines. And then let's start off by rolling our shoulders backwards. We don't want to get all crunched up. And maybe you've spent a long time studying over your books or looking at a computer screen or a tablet or a phone. So this is a really good exercise for just uncrunching our shoulders. Let's go forwards as well as backwards. Oh, that's nice. And bring your hands together in prayer position. And then we begin. Arms up nice and tall, reaching the ceiling if you can. Stretch, 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 and then let those shoulders drop down. Then hands on your knees or just below your knees. And really, can you see how I'm like this? Now, and bring your back down so you've got a nice flat back. And keep looking down at the floor so that your neck and your spine is all one long line. Then hands both by your feet and take one foot back. I usually start with taking my left foot back. Take it back as far as you can and then sink your hips down without letting that back knee reach the floor. So your front knee should be over your ankle and your back knee should be off the floor. Then take the other foot back so that you're in high plank pose. And we'll just hold it here for 3, 2, 1 before dropping our knees and going down into clam. Stretch those arms forward, keeping them nice and active. And then draw a line along the mat with your nose. Let your belly sink down and look up in cobra position. Then curl your toes back, push up and push into downward dog. So in downward dog, let's walk that dog. Let's stretch out those feet. Going back and forth, really feeling the stretch down the back of our legs. And then bring your left foot forward to the front of your mat and do lizard on the other side. Good old lizard. Sinking down with those hips. Then bring your feet together and back into flat back. Bring your hands up high. See if you can touch that ceiling this time. Do you feel that little bit taller now that you've stretched out? And back to prayer. Okay, so we've done it once, and maybe you've remembered a little bit better how to do the sun salutation. So we're going to go through it another 2 times to really get our bodies nice and warm. You ready? Okay, roll your shoulders back. Do that 3 times. Roll your shoulders forward 3 times. Hands into prayer position and then up to the ceiling. And reach up really tall, 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 and then let your shoulders drop. And hands on your knees and flatten that back. Hands down to the floor, left foot stretch right back into lizard pose. Knee over ankle. Really sink those hips down. Then take the right foot back into flat back, into high plank, and hold for 3, 2, 1. Down onto your knees and into clam. Head on the floor if you can, stretching those arms straight in front of you, bottom on your feet. Then draw a line up the mat with your nose. Bring your belly to the floor. Bring your elbows in and look up in Sphinx pose. And curl your toes under. Push back into downward dog. And you can walk out the dog and stretch out those legs if you wish. Then left foot all the way forward into lizard on the other side. Bring your feet together into flat back. Hands up nice and tall. Let your shoulders sink down. And prayer. Did you find it easier that time, second time round? This time you're going to be so good at it now that we're in our 3rd round. Just let's wait here for a second and let our heartbeat settle. Mine is going a little bit faster now. Is yours? Let's have another round. So roll the shoulders back. Roll the shoulders forward. Prayer. Hands up high into extended mountain. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Let the shoulders drop. Hands underneath your knees and a flat back. Then down, hands on the floor. 1 foot back, down into lizard. Hold it there, let your hips sink down. And then both feet back into high plank. Hold for 3, 2, 1. And sink onto your knees into clam. Head on the floor, hands reaching out, keeping them active. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nose along the mat, belly on the floor, head up, looking at the ceiling, into Sphinx. Then curl your toes under, push up into downward facing dog. Push your bottom as high as you can. Walk out those legs, walk that dog. And then left foot all the way forward to lizard on the other side. Feet together, hands under your knees, back into flat back. Come up into extended mountain and finish on prayer. Well done. You're going to get really good at doing the sun salutation. It's a really good warm up. Hopefully you're feeling a little bit more flexible already. So what are we going to do for weather yoga? How can yoga represent the weather, you ask? Well, we've got a few yoga poses that hopefully you'll have some fun doing and you'll soon see. Obviously, we've just done the sun salutation, and I like to pretend that I am the sun sometimes. And the sun is enormous, isn't it? It's the biggest thing out there in our solar system. So let's try and make ourselves as big as we can so that we can be the sun too. So stretch your legs out wide, pointing your legs out like they're rays of the sun. And then bring your arms out wide too, so they are like the rays of the sun. And imagine that someone you love is pulling your arms and your legs in all different directions. They're pulling it as far as you can. Whoop, I nearly slipped off my mat then. So imagine that they're stretching. This is star pose, and it's great for when you want to feel big and important and confident, because you're making yourself as big as possible. And this is a really good pose if you're not feeling very confident and you've got something really important you need to do. If you go into this pose and go, I am confident. Can you say that? I am confident. It actually makes you feel more confident. If you do that every day for a minute, just standing in this pose saying, I am confident, in a week or so, you really will feel more confident because our body has absorbed the shape and absorbed our words. So I hope you feel as warm as the sun, warm and big as the sun in this pose. Oh, let's just shake out our arms and legs after holding them straight out like so. So next comes the wind. So here we have the wind down here, represented by these leaves and the clouds blowing away. And so to represent the wind, I thought the best way would be to do something with leaves. And obviously, trees have leaves. And so I thought, let's become a tree blowing in the wind. So let's first get our tree pose really sorted out before we get any wind and storms blowing us about. So first of all, put your weight onto one leg, get a really firm, solid leg, and then find your focus point. So that we call that your drishti point in yoga. And it means finding a point on the wall or a piece of furniture or something on the floor that you can stare at that isn't going to move. Just don't stare at something that's going to move, like an animal or a person, or something that's going to make you giggle, because then you will just lose your focus really easily. And once you've found your focus, then put your foot into place. So you can either put your foot on the inside of your groin here, or you can put it down by your ankle here. But what you must never do is put it on your knee there, because the weight of pushing against your knee can then push your knee joint out of place, and we don't want any damaged knees. So find your place where you're going to put your foot, and then either bring your hands to your heart center or up above your head. And that is tree pose, and your knee should be pointing out to the side. And you could just hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come down. Well done. So maybe you had a really stable tree. Maybe there was no wind. Maybe your tree wobbled a bit in the wind. And we're going to do a bit of a wobbling tree, because yoga is trying to teach us how, like a tree has roots that goes deep down into the ground, that when the wind comes, the tree wobbles from side to side, but the tree stays firm because it's really well rooted. And that's what yoga is teaching us. It's teaching us the skills to stay really rooted and calm, even if all sorts of chaos and confusion is going on around us in our lives. And that's why yoga is so helpful, because it helps us to stay calm and grounded. So let's try doing it with the wind. Okay, you ready? All right, find your focus point first, then put your foot into place and bring your hands to heart center, but then stretch out your branches and let them blow in the wind. Can you let them blow and still stay up? Ooh, windy, windy. Maybe your upper trunk is blowing through. Oh, the wind so much. Very good. And come back down. Wow, that was a windy day. You guys did really, really well. Now we've done it on one side. We must always make sure that we do it on both sides, because otherwise our bodies won't be stretched equally and we'll all be out of balance. And making sure our body's in balance is another way that we can stay rooted and strong when lots of things are going on around us. So let's take our other foot. And this time, first of all, we do it without the wind blowing, remember? So find your drishti point, your point of focus, then get your foot and put it where you want it. I'm wearing slippy leggings today, so I'm going to put mine down there today. And bring your hands to heart center or above your head. And see if you can hold it there for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Okay, are you ready for the wind and the storm? I can hear that rain's coming. Woo. Let's get our drishti point again. Bring your arms in, put your foot where you want it, and bring out those branches of those trees and let the wind blow and blow. Can you keep your balance? Oh, that wind, it's so strong. It's moving the upper part of my trunk as well. Oh, and then slowly come back to center and down. Well done. Now shake your legs out. They might feel a bit stiff after holding on so tightly onto the ground. You're growing up to be a big, strong tree with good, deep roots. But next, that storm's just got a load worse. And now we've got the lightning coming. The storm's getting worse. All of this lightning is coming our way. Oh no! But we are the lightning. We are the big crashes through the sky. So we're going to make a shape that looks like lightning. So what I want you to do, put your feet just a bit closer than hip width apart. Nice firm base. And bring up your arms just in front of you, not straight, but just in front of you like so. And then imagine that you're sitting on an invisible chair and you bring in your head so it's the same level as your arms, and down you go until, don't go further than your knees, and see, and a lightning bolt going through the sky. And this can be quite a strong stretch on our legs. It's really good for building strength in our legs. And so we're going to just stay here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and whoosh, off we go. Like lightning bolts, they come crashing down to the earth and then they're off again. So do you think you could do another one? Let's try again. Feet hip width apart, arms out like so, and sit down as if you're sitting on a chair and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and up. Well done. That was quite a scary storm we had there, but now we've had the wind, we've had the lightning, and now we've got the rain is coming. Oh, what a day we're having. So for the rain, we're going to be the raindrops coming down from the clouds to the ground. And for this, we're going to do a forward bend. So we're going to reach up high as if with the rain coming from the clouds. And as we come down, you can make your hands go like that as if they're raindrops coming down, and they come pitter-pattering down, right down onto the ground. And when we get down to the ground, they go so far that we even pull our head towards our knees and hold the back of our ankles into a nice forward bend. And then we go back up because more rain's coming down. So feel that rain coming down through the sky, all the way down to the ground, and tuck your head into your knees and hold the back of your ankles. You should really feel the stretch on the back of your legs. And let's do it one more time. So reach right up high as you can, as if your hands are reaching the clouds. And then let's feel that rain coming down all the way down to the ground. Lovely. Oh, but the weather's just getting worse. We've just had rain, we've had lightning, we've had wind, and now we're going to have some hail. So for the hail, we're going to do rope climbing move, which is when you imagine, because hail can be quite big, solid bits of ice, can't they, coming down? So we're going to do this motion with our hands to imagine the hail coming down. And as we do that, because we are trying to keep warm and jump out of the hail way, we're going to bring our legs up to meet the hail. So can you do that? Bring them up, bring them down, bring them up, bring them down. And maybe the hail's going to get faster and faster and faster. Woo. Can you do it? Keep going. Keep going. That hailstorm is getting stronger. Oh, I do hope it stops soon because I'm getting tired. I'm cold and hail can hurt on your skin when it's really hard. Oh, let's stop. Oh, let's get slower as the hail goes slower and slower and slower and slower. And finally, it stops. Oh, can you feel your heart going now? I can. How does it feel in your body doing all of those things? Do you feel a tingle in your arms and legs and your heart going? Your body's alive with doing a bit of exercise. Isn't that a great feeling? So finally, we have some snow, and the snow comes fluttering down nice and softly. So let's raise our hands up high and flutter the snow down. And up it goes again, and down. And you know what I like about snow, and that is playing with snowballs and making snowmen and snow women and having snowball fights. So we're going to roll ourselves up into a big, big snowball. So, or it could be the base of a snowman, perhaps. So let's get our bottoms on our feet and then put our heads forward into clam pose or child pose and pretend that we are a ginormous snowball or maybe a snow sculpture. What would you build? Would it be a snowman? Would it be a snow woman? Maybe it'd be something else entirely. Just imagine that you are the snow sinking in to the ground, all lovely and cold. Oh, it's nice to have a rest after all that moving about. And so bring your head up really, really slowly. If you like our weather yoga, Let's just do one more little stretch. Let's bring our toes facing up to the ceiling and a nice straight back. Imagine that someone's got a string holding up your head to make yourself a nice straight back, and your toes are pointing up as well, so everything's very active. And just imagine that you're a flower. What flower would you be? I think I'm going to be a rose, and my petals are all open, saying thank you to that lovely sun. But as the sun goes down, the petals close, and so reaching forward, I touch my toes. And if that's too strong a stretch for you, you can always bend your knees and stretch like so. And let's pretend to be that flower holding in the sunshine. 4, 3, 2, and 1. That was a nice yoga sequence. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I could see you all doing your best. Anyway, that's how we get to explore the weather doing yoga. So we've got a little mindful activity now, and for that we're going to listen and use our listening sense. So I have a bell here. It's a very special bell. Can you see it? It's a meditation bell, and because it's a meditation bell, it rings and it keeps on ringing. So maybe you can hear. Have a listen. Can you hear how the bell just continues to ring even when the little bit isn't banging against the edge of the bell? So I want you to listen really, really carefully as I ring the bell, and you can just put up your hand when you think the bell has stopped. I'll put up my hand when the bell actually has stopped. Now, it might be a bit later than you put up your hand because I'm in the same room as the bell and the bell noise might not travel quite so well on the computer. But see how long it takes you, and see, I'll ring it a few times and see if each time you can hear it for a little bit longer. Listen carefully now. Here we go. Did you hear it for that long? Let's try again. Listen really carefully. Maybe turn up the sound on your computer. Are you ready? Let's go for a final time. Using our sense of hearing, we can really focus in on things that perhaps we just take for granted. So the next time you're outside, say in a garden or a park, close your eyes for a minute and really focus on what you can hear. Maybe you can hear birds or the trees blowing in the wind. Maybe you can hear the noise of children playing. Just listen and focus on the sounds that you hear. It's a really good way of bringing us into the present and making us stop worrying about things that we may be worried about in the past or the future. And even listening to our breathing can just help us stay in the present and take our mind off our worries. Okay, so now we're going to do a breathing exercise, and this breathing exercise is called rainbow breathing, and that's because we go through all the colours of the rainbow and we make a rainbow as we do it. So we're going to do this. We're going to start in prayer position and then bring up, breathe in, and then breathe out. as we say each colour of the rainbow. Can you remember them all? Let's see how well I can do in this. Okay, you ready? Take a deep breath in. Red. Orange. Yellow. Green. Blue. Indigo. Violet. Did you remember all the colours of the rainbow? Shall I tell you how I remember? My dad taught me when I was young a little saying that says, Richard of York gave battle in vain. Richard for red, of for orange, York for yellow, gave for green, battle for blue, in for indigo, and vain for violet. And that's how I remember. Should we do it one more time? Hands together. Breathe in. Red. Breathe in. Orange. Yellow. I nearly forgot there. Did you see? Green. Blue. Indigo. Violet. Well done. By breathing out for longer than you were breathing in, that also helps calm the body down, which is another good tip to remember. So now comes our time for relaxation, for savasana, as it's called in yoga, where we get to lie down and let our body absorb all the different shapes and poses that we have just done. It's a really important part of the yoga class. It might seem simple, but some people find it really difficult because it can be hard keeping still and not fidgeting. See how still you can be while you do this. So today, we're going to feel the weather. So get yourself comfortable on a mat with a cushion, maybe a blanket. And if you can, lie on your back with your hands facing down, with your palms facing upwards and your hands, the back of the hands lying on the floor without any arms or legs crossed. And we shall begin. So I want you to imagine that it is a beautiful sunny day and the sky is blue and the sun is shining brightly. And you can feel the warmth on your face as you lie, perhaps on grass, so feel the ground beneath you. And there is a soft wind that gently kisses your cheek, making you aware that you are outside. And you can feel in the air the wind grow slightly stronger, and maybe rain is coming, but not right now. Right now, you're enjoying the sun and the wind on your face. And so you can feel a little breeze on your toes. So give your toes a wiggle as you feel the wind. And let your toes and feet relax. And the wind blows a little stronger and you can feel it on your legs. So let your legs and your knees and your thighs grow heavy and relax. And the wind blows stronger still and you can feel it on your tummy. So let your tummy relax and sink into the ground. And the sun is also burning bright, and you can feel the warmth as it heats up your chest. So feel your chest and feel your back of your spine beneath your chest, and let it relax and sink into the ground. And the sun and the wind is warming up your arms as well, and they grow all heavy and relaxed and sink into the ground. And as you lie there, your neck relaxes, and so does your jaw, and your face feels that lovely warm sun, as if you were sunbathing on holiday. And you feel your head grow heavy and relaxed as you sink into the ground. And so, as you lie there, feeling the warmth of the sun and the soft, cool breeze, your whole body feels heavy and relaxed. And now you can enjoy the weather for some 30 seconds, just appreciating how it keeps us warm and how relaxed you feel when you are lying in the grass, appreciating the sunshine. Pick yourself up when you're ready. I hope you enjoyed that relaxation in the sun. And bring your hands together. We always bring our hands together to say namaste at the end of our yoga classes, to say thank you. Thank you for joining me and doing this yoga practice with me. And thank me for teaching you. I hope you had fun. And I always like to say, the goodness in me sees the goodness in all of you. So if you'd like to say that too, please do. And so until next time, take care and see you soon. Bye bye.